Introducing motivational keynote speaker Marilyn Sherman, who helps companies increase their profits by inspiring people to get out of their comfort zone and live life in the front row. Watch how Marilyn inspires people to stop complaining and have more success at work and in life. With a message of hope and encouragement, Marilyn Sherman.
I believe life is a big venue, and we have choices as to where we sit in our life. We can sit in the balcony, which balcony seats are not very good. And oftentimes when you're in the balcony, it's view obstructed, it's just not the best seat in the house. Or we can sit in general admission. General admission is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I wrote a book on how to get out of your comfort zone, so to me, people that live life in general admission are people that are stuck in a comfort zone. And then we could live in the front row. And that to me is where life is lived.
Where are you with your work chair? Are you in the front row, general admission, or the balcony? Now, if you are front row in your work chair, it means you really, really, really love your job. You love waking up every day and going to work. You love the people you work with. You are so engaged, you're valued, and you're honored, and people appreciate your opinion, and they hear you, and they see you, and they acknowledge you. Some people are saying to me that if you are that excited about your job, it's either your first week on the job or your last week on the job. So I keep track of all the things that I've done that just make me laugh, so that if I'm having a bad moment and then I have another bad moment and I'm tempted to have another bad moment, I want to snap out of it. So I review what's in my humor file to just lighten up my day. So I have one incident when I was up in Alaska. Do I have any people from Alaska here today? Okay, great. So you know what it's like in Alaska. Beautiful state up there. A lot of, beautiful nature up there. But I met a woman in Fairbanks, and she warned me. She said, oh, my gosh, Marilyn, there are so many men up here, men to woman ratio. There's so many men up here that the odds are really good. But I have to warn you, I've lived here all my life, and the goods are really odd. She's nodding. Oh, yeah. So I walk into my audience, and they're all men in my audience. And I said, well, good morning, gentlemen. And the button on my blouse popped off. I thought, now that's funny. And then one time I was in Orlando, Florida, and I was going to speak at this really big women's conference. There were going to be about 3,500 women at this conference. And the Orlando airport, I don't like waiting in the cab line. So I went to the very front of the line, got out of my comfort zone, and started engaging in conversations with people to see if anybody was going to the same resort I was going to, if they wanted to share expenses. So after the third person, I finally got someone to say yes. So we're sharing a cab going to the resort, and he said, well, so what brings you to Orlando? I said, well, I'm going to speak at this really big women's conference. And he got so excited. He's like, I love big women. No, it's a really large women's conference. He's like, I love them large, baby. And the conference that I went to actually had a really good sense of humor, too, because can you imagine that many women under one roof? So what they did was they took over the men's room and made the men's room ladies' rooms. And they had a little sign that said where the men needed to go, but this particular one, this is going to be for women. But they didn't just put a sign up. I loved what they did because they had a sense of humor. They decided to decorate the men's room. Made us feel nice at home. I love this picture, too, because I went in there and I thought, oh, this is so great. These are very healthy ferns. And if you needed to water them, you just flush.
I want to talk about mindset, because to be a successful leader, we've got to start to change our mindset. If you want to be a hospitality fanatic, you've got to change your mindset. Now, I've been hanging out with you the last couple of days, and your mindset is great. But here are some ideas that not only will help you when you leave, but maybe you can transfer some of these ideas to all the people that support you. Take your job very seriously. There are parts of your job that you don't like. Take it seriously. When you say you're going to do something, do it. When you make a commitment, make a promise, even the stuff you don't want to do and don't like to do, take it seriously. And I learned that lesson from a second grader. This little boy is named Lin Hao. Lin Hao, I found out about him from the Summer Olympics. I'm so excited that we have an Olympian speaking today. But the Summer Olympics in Beijing, China. I was watching the opening ceremonies. And whenever you watch the opening ceremonies of any Olympic Games, they always have all the countries come in alphabetical order, with the host country coming in last. And every country represented has one athlete
that is the designated flag bearer, right? So for Beijing, China, Richard, you'll appreciate this. Who do you think was the flag bearer? This guy right here, Yao Ming. So the millions of the people in the world, around the world watching the opening ceremonies are watching Yao Ming walk into the stadium, but he was not alone. He was holding the hand. He was next to this little boy, Lin Hao. Millions of people seeing this little second grader. Now, why? Why did he have the honor of walking in the opening ceremonies? Well, right before the Olympics, his elementary school was the epicenter of an earthquake, and he got out alive. And as soon as he got out alive, he went back in, found a classmate that was unconscious, picked him up, literally carried him to safety. And after he did that, he went back in and he did it again. He saved 2 of his classmates, and then he gathered all the children around, led them in song and in prayer to keep them calm until all the adults came and rescued them. Now, when the media got a hold of this, they said, well, why did you do it? Why did you go back into your building? This little second grader said, it was my job. I am the hall monitor. Isn't that sweet? He did not wait for a committee, wait for a vote, delegate it. He just took his job very seriously. So if he can take his job seriously, you and I can too.
I want you to think of someone in your life who is constantly helping other people move to the front row. And what I mean by that is, if you ever come to Las Vegas where I live and you go see a show, I guarantee you, you will have an usher with 2 things. I guarantee you. Number 1, they will have knowledge of the venue. They know exactly where all the seats are. And number 2, they will have a flashlight. And what they do is they welcome you to the venue, they look at your ticket, and then they say what? Follow me. And they lead you to the most direct route to your seat. The Usher Award is what I give to leaders, because true leaders are people who know what the desire is in the heart of their employees, of where they want to go on their path to life. That's what a good leader is. That's what a good friend is. That's what a good mom is. That is someone who is not worried so much about them being in the front row, but helping usher other people to the front row. So I encourage you, when you leave here, I encourage you to be an usher for someone else, because I think one of the best front row seats you could have is watching someone you care about get in their front row.
Never underestimate the power of acknowledgement. Let people know they've made a difference for you in their life. Let people know how much you appreciate them and that you want to thank them for what they've done for you. Let people know that they've inspired you. The power of acknowledgement can change lives. It changed my life. I did one time, I acknowledged somebody, and it literally changed the course of my life forever. I was in San Diego, where my speaking people, woohoo! I was in San Diego, and I had been single for 7 years. And I thought, you know what, it's time for Moose to get a man. So, and I deserved a front row man in my life, so I decided to practice what I preach. When I speak, I talk a lot about goal setting, so I practice what I preach. I made a list of all the traits I wanted in a man. Came up with 356 traits on my list. And in the top 10, he had to speak fluent French. Why not? It's my list. So I'm at this event. I invested in my business. I go to this event, and it was a small business retreat, and in walks this guy. And he has this French accent. He talks like this, and I'm thinking, oh. And the whole weekend, I kept hearing this French accent, and I got so excited, I made a decision. And what are you like when you make a decision? You're on fire, right? So I made a decision. I am not going to wait for some man to come into my life to speak French. I'm going to go take a French class. So at the end of this retreat, I went and found him in the parking lot as he was leaving. And I said, excuse me, I just want to acknowledge you. You have no idea how much you've made a difference for me. Just by meeting you and hearing you all weekend long, I decided to take a French class. So I just want to thank you. And I swear that was my only intention. Much to my delight, he said, you do not need to take a French class. I can help you with your French. And so he took me out to dinner, and I took notes. And he took me out to dinner the next night, and I took less notes. And then I married him. I never would have seen him again had I not taken the time to acknowledge him. So don't ever underestimate the power of acknowledgement.
If you have customers and you want to serve your customers, just learn from this one guy at the Ritz-Carlton. It was a family where the husband and wife and their little baby boy who had a blanket/pillow. I don't know what these things are, but it's like a stuffed animal pillow blanket combination. And this thing was named Georgie, okay? And this little boy loved Georgie. Every single night slept with it, so of course I had to take it on vacation. And unfortunately, the parents left it behind at the Ritz-Carlton. So when they got home to Atlanta, this little boy was inconsolable, crying, couldn't go to sleep because he forgot Georgie. And the dad just made up a little white lie and said, son, I'm sorry, but it's okay, really, it's okay. Georgie just decided to extend his vacation. And it worked. The kid believed the story and went to sleep. So then he kind of freaked out and he called the Ritz-Carlton and he said, you gotta find this thing. And the guy in loss prevention that took the call, he said, guess what? We found it. And he was all good, because I kind of told a lie to my son, so could you please ship it back? And he said, yep, got you covered. Now the guy shipped Georgie back to that little boy, but he didn't just ship this little Georgie blanket pillow thing back. What he did was he took that animal and brought it to different places around the property and took pictures and created a little photo album and then sent the photo album back to the kid saying, I'm sorry I missed you, but I extended my vacation. So here are just some examples. This is Georgie on the lounge chair by the pool. He's got his little sunglasses there. He's just enjoying himself at the Ritz. This is a picture of Georgie getting a massage. He's got little cucumbers on his eyes. He's in the spa, just chilling out. And then the last picture, that's Georgie at the computer. He wants to be in loss prevention now, so he's making himself his own little ID tag. So what was so cute about this is that the box came with the photo album, with the letter to the little boy saying, I missed you, but here's what I did. There were even some more pictures, like him in a golf cart and things like this. And it even included his little new tag, the security tag with this picture on it that he made with his name on it. Is that not the cutest thing? And this is just one employee doing something for a customer. That customer will be a customer for life. I was up in Seattle, where I'm from, visiting my family, and I had my niece on my lap. My niece is named Haley. At the time, she was 9 years old. We were gathered around watching the fireworks, and she was sitting on my lap, and after the fireworks were over, she said, Aunt Marilyn, tell me about your new book. And I had just finished writing, the Why Settle for the Balcony book, and I think she thought it was a children's book. I'm thinking, oh gosh, how do I articulate to my 9-year-old niece that life is too short to be stuck in the balcony of your life? Life is too short to have relationships that you're not honored. Life is too short to be in a job that you don't like. Life is too short to be unhealthy with your physical body and your mental health. It's too short. That you should embrace living life in the front row, however you define it for you. In the world, the sky is the limit. You can do anything you want with your life, and I want you to be happy. And I was thinking that's what I was going to say to her, but she interrupted me. As she's sitting on my lap, she said, Aunt Marilyn, I'm sitting in the front row right now. I said, oh, Haley, that's good. I go, can I use that? She said, sure. I said, should I put it at the beginning of my book or at the end of the book? Because it sounds like it should be, an anchor, either front or the back. And little Miss Haley said, put it at the beginning and dedicate it to me, too. It's like, how does a little 9-year-old know about book dedications?
We had Marilyn Sherman at our event today, and she gave us wonderful knowledge. We had so many attendees who said it was the best one we've ever had. We've been having this event for 25 years. She was very engaging, and we've got an awful lot of positive feedback today.
All I would like to say is that I would not want to be in charge next year having to top this, because Marilyn Sherman was the best speaker that we have ever had.
We're down here in Miami, Florida, and we had Marilyn Sherman speak to us today at our national sales meeting. What a fantastic speaker. We gained so much insight and information from her. Different ways to go to market. Fabulous speaker. Would recommend her services to anyone and everyone on any given day. Thank you, Marilyn.
One of the most energetic, enthusiastic speakers we've ever seen.
Absolutely. My wife's birthday is next Tuesday. When I go back, I don't even think I need to bring a book. I'm like the new guy. I'm out of my comfort zone.
My name is Elaine Williams, and I am a professional stand-up comedian in New York City. I have toured North America, and I have been to a lot of workshops and seminars and trainings for over 15 years. And I gotta tell you, I saw Marilyn Sherman speak today, and she was so freaking funny. I was like, hey, I'm supposed to be the funny one. She was so funny, so authentic. The audience was kind of tired, and she wowed everybody, woke us up, and there were laughs throughout the whole thing. And if you are looking for an amazing keynote who is inspiring, motivating, but also really funny and authentic, hire Marilyn Sherman. I want to come watch her again because I can get comedy points. That's how funny she is. She's a natural.
My name is Ed Rush, former fighter pilot, but I am here today to tell you about the absolutely amazing Marilyn Sherman. I just heard her speak, and she completely blew the audience away. I was amazed. They were laughing, they were like rolling in the aisles. She's not only funny, she delivered great content, and she taught the audience how to live life in the front row, which is a talk that she gives, which is just amazing. So if you're thinking about bringing Marilyn in, first of all, just do it. Second of all, know that she will not just make you look good, she'll make you look amazing. And whoever it is who hired you to do what you do will come and pat you on the back and tell you how great a job you did. So you need to bring her in, you need to hire her, and I don't care what her fee is because it's probably pretty high because she's very good. You need to pay it because she will blow your audience away, and that's all I have to say about that. So go to her website, MarilynSherman.com, and book her to come and speak to you.
I just saw Marilyn Sherman speak, and it was very motivational. She's an excellent speaker and does not look her age whatsoever. So that is a great motivation.
Very good.